Hi everyone. Well, one and done. Week 1 of the NFL season is in the books. Let's take a look at how I did with the picks, shall we? So, as we already know, we already established that in the last video, that on Thursday night, the Green Bay Packers beat the New Orleans Saints by a score of 42-34, and I did pick the Green Bay Packers, so that's one for me. Okay, let's move on to the Atlanta-Chicago. I picked Chicago, and Chicago won that game 30-12. So I got 2. Next one was Philadelphia and St. Louis. I picked Philadelphia. They won 31-13. Make it 3. Detroit, Tampa Bay. I picked Tampa Bay. Final score was 27-24 Detroit. So that's the first one I missed. Tennessee, Jacksonville. I picked Tennessee to win that one. It was 16-14 for Jacksonville, so I missed that one too. Indianapolis, Houston. I picked Houston to win, and they did. 34-7. I have 4. Cincinnati, Cleveland. I thought Cleveland would take that one, but Cincinnati somehow won. It was 27-17. So I missed that one. I did not think my team, the Buffalo Bills, would beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but somehow they did, and quite handily, 41-7. So no points for me there. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I picked Pittsburgh, and Baltimore won that one, 35-7. New York Giants and Washington. I picked the New York Giants to win that one, but Washington won it 28-14. So no points on that one either. Minnesota and San Diego. Minnesota got off to a good start. San Diego was my pick, by the way. But Minnesota got off to a good start, and San Diego came back 24-17. So my total is now up to 5. Sorry, I'm a little itchy. Carolina and Arizona. I picked Arizona to beat Carolina. Newton had a good game, but he passed for over 400 yards, but Arizona did win the game. It was 28-21, so that's another one for me. I'm at 6. Seattle, San Francisco. I don't know why I picked that one. I picked Seattle, and I'm wondering why I picked Seattle. I don't know. San Francisco won 33-17, and so that's no points for me. Sunday night game, Dallas and the Jets. I picked the Jets, and the Jets won it 27-24, so I'm up to 7. The first Monday night game was New England and Miami. I picked New England, and the final score was 38-24 for New England, in a game that saw both quarterbacks pass for over 400 yards. Brady passed for over 500. So that was a pretty amazing game. And I got that one right, so I'm up to 8. And Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. I picked Denver in that one, and the final score was 23-24 Oakland. Difference was a 63-yarder at the end of the first half by Sebastian Janikowski, sorry, which ties the NFL record. So no points on that last game. So my record for Week 1 is 8-8. So, a little bit to improve on. It's kind of common for Week 1 to not be at your total best, because you never know how the new teams will match up, you know. But, looking to improve in Week 2. Every game in Week 2 is on Sunday, except for the one game, which is on Monday night. So, let's see here. First game I'm going to look at is Oakland and Buffalo. Both, with some unexpected wins, by me at least. I am impressed with what Buffalo did. I'm impressed with what Oakland did too. I'm going to lean towards Buffalo. They'll have a nice hometown crowd, and yeah, not that I think any less of what Oakland did last week, but yeah, I like Buffalo in this one. I believe they will go 2-0. Kansas City and Detroit. Kansas City's still a good team, despite what happened to them at the expense of Buffalo. And I think I think their experience will pay off against the Detroit Lions. So I'm going to pick Kansas City in that one. Chicago and New Orleans. Despite New Orleans losing, I liked what they did. And despite Chicago winning, I think New Orleans will be a stronger team than Chicago. I picked New Orleans in this one. Cleveland and Indiana, this is a tough one to pick. Cleveland, they're kind of an up-and-coming, not there yet team. And Indianapolis, a perennial playoff team who's playing without their star player this year. So who do you pick? Kerry Collins is a good quarterback. He's not a Peyton Manning quarterback. And with the rest of the Indianapolis team, I don't think... They're not a team that's going to win a lot of games without Peyton Manning, but I think this is a game they can take against a very inexperienced Cleveland Browns team. So I am going to pick the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Browns in Week 2. Tampa Bay and Minnesota, this was a very hard one. Pretty much the difference maker in my pick came down to the home team, which is kind of sucks to base your pick on that, but I'm gonna pick Minnesota in this one, just because I think the teams are pretty even, and I'm gonna pick home advantage as the tiebreaker. No real reason, but yeah. Green Bay and Carolina, this one's pretty easy for me, and was very impressed with what Cam Newton did, but the Green Bay Packers are the Green Bay Packers, defending Super Bowl champions. Carolina's still a very inexperienced team, so this is a very easy pick. Green Bay is my pick. Seattle and Pittsburgh. This is another easy one. Super Bowl runners-up against a Seattle team that got manhandled, and will continue to get manhandled, I think, throughout the year. Pittsburgh is my pick. Baltimore and Tennessee. I said watch out for Tennessee this year, but Baltimore's a very good team, and I think they're better than Tennessee, so Baltimore's going to be my pick. Tennessee is a team that could steal a lot of games, but I don't think they're going to steal this one. Arizona and Washington. This is a tough pick. They got two quarterbacks who are basically cast-offs, Kevin Cobb for Arizona and Rex Grossman for Washington. Grossman had a very good game last week, though. And Cobb had a good game last week, too, but... I'm kind of leaning towards Washington in this one. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Washington. Jacksonville and the New York Jets. Jacksonville somehow eked out a win last week. And so did the Jets, but the Jets are a better team. Jets had a very impressive comeback win against Dallas last week on Sunday night. And Jacksonville, it's just impressive when they win a game, especially after the mind-boggling cut of David Garrard. I'm still kind of belly-aching about that, but the Jets are going to beat Jacksonville. That's my pick. Dallas and San Francisco. Tony Romo, in his first game back from injury, had a good game for the Cowboys last week, despite the loss. And against a team like San Francisco, I think he'll carve that defense a little more, and I think Dallas is going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Did I call them the Giants? That's bad. I can't remember if I called them the Giants, but I have a feeling I did. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys in that game. Cincinnati and Denver. Was not impressed with Denver. I picked Denver last week, and they did not impress me at all. It's going to make them very hard for me to pick again unless I see a clear advantage. And Cincinnati is a team they could beat. You know, a very inexperienced quarterback, Andy Dalton, who actually got injured last week, but he should be alright for week 2. I think I am going to pick the Bengals, though. I think I am going to pick the Bengals, because Denver showed me, like, nothing last week. So I'm picking the Bengals. Next game is San Diego and New England. San Diego is a good team. New England is a... They're still one of the elites. And I think last Monday night proved it. San Diego, they're not slouches or anything, but the Patriots are the Patriots. So, and they're going to be my pick. So the Patriots against the Chargers. Patriots are my pick. Moving on to the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. Another pretty easy pick. Houston's about the same as they were last year, but they're competing for the NFC South, and they have a real shot at it this year. I think that'll make them play a little bit harder. And Miami Dolphins, they don't really impress me. So I'm picking Houston in that one. 2 more games to go. Sunday night game is a very good matchup between Michael Vick's Philadelphia Eagles and his old Atlanta Falcons. And this is a very hard pick. I picked against the Falcons last week against the Bears, and that pick paid off. But the Falcons are still a very good team. It's hard to pick against them. But it's hard to pick against the Philadelphia Eagles, too. I think overall, and this is not a knock on either team, I think both teams are very good teams. Overall, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are just more talented. So, and Michael Vick will be very motivated. I don't think it's his first visit back to Atlanta. I think he visited Atlanta last year, but going back anyway and doing it on Sunday night this year. Yeah, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win. So that is going to be my pick. And the final game of Week 2 is the Monday Nighter, which is the St. Louis Rams against the New York Giants. St. Louis Rams, Sam Bradford going into his second year. And they lost last week to a very good Philadelphia Eagles team. And, you know, I think Sam Bradford is going to continue to build on his year last year, but not that the Giants are one of the better teams. I still think they're better than the Rams. Like, overall, I think their offense, while not great, I think they can put some points on the board and, you know, be quite good. And I think that is what will happen against the Rams on Monday night. So I'm picking the Giants. So that's my Week 2. To recap, I'm picking the Bills against the Raiders. I'm picking the Chiefs over the Lions. Picking the Saints over the Bears. Picking the Colts over the Browns. Picking the Vikings over the Buccaneers. Packers over the Panthers. Steelers over the Seahawks. The Baltimore Ravens over the Tennessee Titans. Redskins over the Cardinals. Jets over Jaguars. Cowboys over the 49ers. The Bengals over the Broncos. Picking the Patriots over the Chargers, the Texans over the Dolphins, Eagles over Falcons, and Giants over Rams. So those are my picks for Week 2. Hope I do better than Week 1. And I will see you after Week 2 is done. Take care. Bye-bye.